Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you, and it'll be a very happy Super Bowl Sunday a year from now if these four things happen because the Texans will be playing in the game. Is it possible? Yes. Is it crazy? Also, yes. But if these four things happen, I feel pretty darn good about the Houston Texans getting an opportunity to play for a Lombardi trophy. What exactly are they? Well, let's get into it. We'll get a PrizePicks entry for you at the end of the video as well. Let's start with the CJ Stroud leap that we thought was going to happen in 2024. Well, it needs to happen in 2025, and he needs to leap from the player that he was in 2023. 2024, a couple things that I didn't love about CJ Stroud's season. Didn't love his decisiveness, didn't love the accuracy, didn't love some of the decision making. But if he jumps forward from that player that we saw in 2023 that was decisive and accurate and oftentimes dynamic, and he makes that big leap, the Texans are going to be a tough team to beat on a week in, week out basis. But it starts with the quarterback. And you look at the AFC, you look at Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, so many good quarterbacks in the AFC. Joe Burrow wasn't even in the playoffs this year. The quarterback has to be excellent on a week in, week out basis, and CJ Stroud's going to have to be excellent next season for the Texans to be where the Chiefs and the Eagles are 1 year from now. The second thing that has to happen is Nick Caley, the new offensive coordinator, he's got to cure some of the issues on offense. We talked about CJ Stroud, and he, of course, has to be excellent. But the other 10 guys that are on the field with Stroud, they've got to be really darn good, too. And Nick Caley's job as the new offensive coordinator, come in here, fix what was wrong, take what was right, make it even better, and then give some new life to these players on offense. As much as I'd like a brand new offensive line and 4 or 5 new wide receivers and a whole new tight end room, that's not realistic. There's going to be some carryover from the 2024 season into 2025. And Nick Caley is going to have to take care of business with the players that he has that disappointed in 2024. Hey, a former tight ends coach, maybe he's going to make Dalton Schultz even better. Maybe this blocking scheme will be better in tune with the offensive linemen that stick around from 2024 after a terribly disappointing season protecting CJ Stroud and opening holes up for Joe Mixon and getting the most out of the players outside of Nico Collins and including Nico Collins. It's a big charge for Nick Caley. But if he checks all those boxes, the Texans offense should be ready to rock. They may find themselves in the Super Bowl next year. Levi's Stadium out there in San Francisco is the location as well. I think they still call it Levi's Stadium. Number 3 on this list, hey, that defense has to be near perfect. They're already excellent. They could move to the elite. And I'm not talking about remember the Titans. You will be perfect. Doesn't have to be that, but it's got to be pretty darn good on the defensive side of the football. You look at the teams that are in the Super Bowl this year, and they've had guys step up on defense over the course of the season, turn into game changers. Heck, the Eagles are starting 2 rookie cornerbacks in this game. They had a disappointing draft pick flip the switch and turn into a really nice pass rusher in Nolan Smith. Of course, their interior defensive line is excellent. Those guys are draft picks, and they filled it in with veterans around those guys. It is a really impressive defense for Philadelphia. And of course, we know what the defense brings to the table for Kansas City. We watched them take care of business against the Texans. George Karlaftis is turning into a player. Chris Jones, one of the best on the interior. Trent McDuffie, one of the best corners in all of football. The Texans will need near perfection from their defense. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, excellence. They'll need some interior defensive line play. The linebackers, hey, remember when Azeez Al-Shire couldn't cover Travis Kelce? Got to have better performance than that in the playoffs next year to find yourself in the Super Bowl. Kamari Lassiter, Derek Stingley, they get even better. Gets pretty exciting from a secondary standpoint, doesn't it? Kalen Bullock and whatever else they put out there at safety next to him. Hey, you got to get really good safety play next to Bullock, and then he's got to take his game to the next level. Doesn't have to be perfect, but near perfection for this team to find themselves in the Super Bowl. Finally, Nick Caserio's got to cook again. And this offseason, it's a little bit more difficult than it was last year to take care of business in the offseason. A lot more money to play with, a lot more room, assets. Hey, they walk into this year's offseason with 6 draft picks. They walk in with a minimal amount of cap space. But Nick Caserio, he's no stranger to a chopped basket. Oh, little bit of cap space. Oh, only 6 draft picks. Bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know, he's making a trade, got more draft picks. He's changed up some contracts, and they got some cap space, and they're ready to spend. But those bargain signings from last year that were really good, like Mario Edwards for just a couple of $1 million, Tim Settle turning into a nice player for, again, just a few $1 million. And, of course, the draft success. 2 starters in the secondary and perhaps a starter on your offensive line in 2025 with those first 3 picks in the 2024 NFL draft. We all know how good 2023 was. Oh, by the way, Henry To'o turned into a really nice player as well as a late round pick that sort of evolved. Jared Patterson played a lot for you. The Texans have got to be excellent in the offseason to set them up for that CJ Stroud jump. Nick Caley fixing everything. That defense is near perfection. It starts with Nick Caserio getting in the kitchen, cooking something up that will be fantastic for the Houston Texans ahead of next season. All 4 of those things happen. I feel really darn good about the Houston Texans playing in a Super Bowl at the end of next season. What say you? What needs to happen for the Texans to play in a Super Bowl? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got a PrizePicks entry for the Super Bowl coming your way at the end of this video. Appreciate you watching the videos all football season long. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to have you covered this entire offseason. Landry Locker in the locker room is going to have you covered this entire offseason. SNL with myself and Landry Locker will have you covered all offseason long. Don't go anywhere. Football season might be over, but the offseason, sometimes it's just as damn exciting, and we're going to bring it all to you. So appreciate you for watching all the videos. Hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait until we talk Texans. Maybe a year from now in the Super Bowl again soon. Okay, let's put that PrizePicks entry together. PrizePicks, the best and easiest way to play daily fantasy. You're just going more or less on predicted stats on the PrizePicks site, and you put them together in one entry, and then you can win if you get them all correct. And there's even the Superflex where you don't even have to get them all correct. And as you see here, a ton of options in the world of football. I know football's over at the end of the Super Bowl, but you got basketball, you got soccer, you got hockey, you got everything on PrizePicks. It's so much fun. So let's go to the rushing yards. And we're not going to put a player that you're thinking about here. Mahomes gets it going in the Super Bowl on the ground. He's going to take off a bunch in this one. 30.5 rushing yards. We're going more for Mahomes on that one. Now we need rushing and receiving touchdowns. So just get in the end zone. The tush push, the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. The QB sneak feels damn near unstoppable. So I'm putting Jalen Hurts in there, and I don't believe the Eagles are going to keep this close without Saquon Barkley getting into the end zone as well. So there's a couple of touchdowns that we need to have happen. Let's throw a sack in there. Man, George Karlaftis was just so darn good against the Houston Texans. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep Karlaftis off of Jalen Hurts. Now, he's very mobile, but he's also very good. We need the big fella from Greece, real name Yoros, to get in there for a sack. And really, I like those 4. And if we put those 4 right there together, 5 to win over 40. How about that? It's that simple. You play your first 5, you get $50 thanks to my friends at PrizePicks. It is that easy to put something in on PrizePicks. When you play those first 5, you get the $50 headed to your account. Use my code STOOTS, STOOTS, STOOTS. It's at the link in the description down below. Enjoy. Happy Super Bowl to you. And just because football's over doesn't mean you can't win a daily fantasy. PrizePicks has it all for you. Baseball right around the corner. Basketball's going. It's going to be great. You don't want to miss it. Oh, by the way, maybe a little NFL offseason stuff on PrizePicks. You never know. Be on the lookout for that and know that PrizePicks, the best and easiest way to play daily fantasy.